About 15 years ago, I was invited by a pastor Iftikhar from Faisalabad in Pakistan to hold a meeting. The very first meeting we had was held in a big Catholic compound with high walls around, machine guns on the rooftops everywhere, and 30,000 people approximately came out. It was also televised on state television, which was a miracle in itself. Now, one of the great incidents that took place this first night was, I'd been on the stage ministering, and the people were responding. And I remember when I first got there, they said to me, stay on the stage. Now everywhere there's people with scatter shotguns, AK-47s, all that stuff. And I said, no, I have to go into the crowd. No, you can't. And I said, well, I'll show you. I jumped off the stage, went into the crowd, and God always told me in the spirit years ago, if you went to the people would always respond. Yes, it's a little dangerous, but there was plenty of security around. Now, I'd ministered to them, and I'm just about to make the salvation call and then start the healing ministry. And some people behind me were allowing somebody onto the back of the stage. Now, apparently, I've got a photograph here in my hands, and this child in the photograph is dead. It died 6-7 hours earlier in a hospital there. He'd been given a death certificate. Now, the father was on his way to fix the child up. He's a Muslim, and have their burial. They like to bury them straight away. And as he went past where we were, he heard the noise, the music and everything, and he said, what's going on in there? And they said, oh, it's a miracle healing service. They don't call them Christian services because of the backlash from the Muslims. Oh, they said, why don't you go in? Maybe God will do a miracle for your child. And, you know, he's a father. What? You mean God can heal and raise people from the dead? Yes, he can. God said, as Christians, if we believe we can lay hands on the sick, even raise the dead. Now, I've seen the dead raised. And so here comes this gentleman. Somebody else was with him. And he comes up behind me, and I thought, oh, well, okay. And I sort of glanced back and looked, saw the child. But to me, the child, like any other child in those circumstances, didn't look dead. Well, as far as I was concerned, it was just a very, very sick child. They can look dead. And I just put my hand on his head and said, be healed in Jesus' name. He came alive. He'd been dead for several hours. This is the boy. Now, you imagine what that did to that crowd when they realized this child had come alive. Well, we had a great revival. We had miracles everywhere. That was all shown on state television. After those happenings, I was allowed to speak to the government of that state where Faisalabad is. And I spoke with the government. They allowed me into their prison to speak to the political prisoners. See, God can open doors. Do you know, I think one of the most exciting jobs a person can have is an evangelist in the world. Because we see God move in signs and wonders where there's no hope. And this is just another story of what God does. God bless you. You think about it. Why don't you find a church where they pray for the sick? And you'll find out that miracles still take place. God bless you.